like Sunday, breezy, breezy like Sunday, easy, easy like Sunday. Morning, breezy, breezy like Sunday, easy, easy like Sunday, breezy, breezy like Sunday morning.
What it is.
It's the UpLIFT show.
Where it is.
Awesome God Radio.
Who it be.
It's Breezy in the house.
When it is.
It's on right now.
What we do.
We get lifted on the UpLIFT show. Here we go now.
Easy, breezy, breezy, easy, easy, breezy, easy, breezy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the UpLIFT show with me, Easy Breezy, like Sunday morning, coming from you live and in person from my living room. Just probably where everybody else is right now. You know, we can't go nowhere, but that's all right. It's okay. We can't. I went to the store and I had to put a mask on. Couldn't breathe. Felt like I was hyperventilating and everything else. And came on right back home, sitting in this living room. But that's okay. I love my little living room, and y'all know I got my faithful kitty cat co-host here beside me, but she's giving herself a little bath right now, so I'm gonna keep her off camera. I'm so happy to be with you once again. God bless your heart and all your parts. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We always say something like you could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. That's a lie right now because y'all don't have nowhere else to be. But I'm still happy that you chose to come on in here and spend a little time with Breezy this evening. I have some breaking news now. As you all can see, I have a very special guest, and I'm going to introduce her in just a moment. But I always want to give you the latest in the breaking news because we're watching. I know y'all sitting around watching the news, and watching CNN and then BNN and TNN and all that stuff all day long, and you hear just all this bad news. This person is dead. That person got shot. This person got the disease. So I try to go through and find some better news for you. I try to keep you uplifted. Remember, this is the Uplift show. So I have some breaking news this evening. She sells seashells by the seashore. News at 10. Amen. And also have one more piece of news. This is something very, very this is amazing. This is a new study coming out of NYU. The new study reveals that 4 out of 10 people believe the glass is half full. 4 believe the glass is half empty, and the last two, well, they just drink whatever's in the glass. And that is your news for today, right here on Awesome God Radio, the Uplift Show with Breezy.
Wow.
Thank you again for tuning in. And don't forget, please, you can listen to tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow at 6, we have She Heals Radio with Whitney J. We have got the Good Life Gospel Show on Saturday morning from 9 to 11. We've got the Rashad Bowtie Mills Show. We've got DJ Silent Professor. We've got the Women in Business International. We have so many great shows here on Awesome God Radio for you. So, tune in for Breezy, but stay tuned for the rest of them folks too. So this is what I want you to do. Wherever you're doing right now, your computer, your phone, whatever, however you watching me, just leave your phone on, leave your computer on, Awesome God Radio all the time. That way you will definitely not miss anything, especially me, because who wants to miss me? I miss me when I'm not around. When I forget myself, I get lonely. I need me. I need me in my life. And there is another person that I need so desperately in my life, and that is the person of Pastor Deborah Burrus, who is my very special guest this evening on the Uplift show. Y'all know, I'm sure everybody here is a long time listener, but for the ones that are not long time listeners, this is my second pastor, y'all. I'm blessed because some people only have one good pastor, but I got 2 pastors, and I love them both so much. And see, when my first pastor get tired of me, then I can call on my second pastor, and it's all good. And as I have said unto you, Pastor B, a million times, as soon as Pastor Jackie throw me out of New Jerusalem Praise Tabernacle where the powers and the love and the deliverance is in your praise, I'm gonna be scratching at your back door like a stray alley cat.
Okay.
Y'all notice how it took her a minute to answer that. That's all right, Pat. I understand. I mean, after all, what would you do without me?
Hmm. Okay, we'll get back to that.
That's all right. I know you have to think about it. Some things are just so. Some things are just so important. You don't want to, when it comes to important things, you don't just want to answer off the cuff. You want to think about it. You want to marinate on it. So that's okay. I'm gonna let you marinate on that for a little while.
Okay, thank you.
Now, firstly, I have to thank you for giving me some of your time this evening. And I also, not only do I have to thank you, but I have to admonish you as well.
Okay.
Because we have been missing you at Awesome God Radio. Now, for those of you who might not know, this wonderful, beautiful Pastor Dr. Deborah B. Burrus, did I say B. Burrus? B. Burrus? You know what I mean. Is and was and will soon be again the host of Heart Matters with Pastor Deborah Burrus. Now, she's been taking a little sabbatical. Sometimes even, even the doctor need to go to the doctor sometimes. The teacher needs to go get some more education sometimes. It's all right. She letting the Lord talk to her and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, she leaving us just all broke and hurt and lonely and missing her beautiful smile and her even beautifuler heart. We miss you.
Wow.
We definitely miss you, but we ain't going nowhere. And as soon as you are ready, we're going to accept you right back with open arms. You're still part of the family.
I'm sorry. I think I'm having a bit of a bad connection. I moved to another room in the house, and can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, because it seems like you're freezing, so I'm missing part of what you're saying. So prayerfully, I won't have to try to go move to another room. But good evening. I missed part of what you were saying.
I was just telling everybody how wonderful you are.
Yes.
Oh, and you're getting greetings here from my mommy.
Oh, bless her heart. She's so sweet. I love her. Hello, Miss Cynthia. Yes.
I have done so well with her. Yes, I have. Amen.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If you say so. Yes. Yes. But I will say I have taken a sabbatical because sometimes your body gives you warning signs when you're on overload, and we are never to try to be all things to all people. And self-care is, I always preach about self-care, but sometimes we forget that we too have to partake of self-care. So God has allowed me to have some rest and to clear some things off of my plate and to reorganize some things and everything that's going on in my life. All is good. I just thank God for all that he's doing and he continues to do. And I do miss the Awesome God Radio family. And as you said, I will be coming back. I don't know which platform I'll be coming back in, but I definitely will be coming back because I do miss all of the wonderful people and being able to share the different little nuggets that God gives me to share.
Amen. Now, I'm usually I do a lot of fooling around. When I start talking, I don't stop talking. So, sometimes I end up running out of time for stuff. So I'm not going to fool around a lot this evening because I want to really get into this topic and I want to give you time to do what you do that voodoo that you do so well. But first and foremost, I want to bring it to everybody's attention. Of course, I don't have my co-host again here with me tonight. Shanda Boo is home right now, resting as she is still dealing with the loss of her mother. I've known this family for 20 years. Shanda calls me Big Sis, and she's Little
Yeah.
Sis. I used to teach her and her sister in Sunday school and children's church, and I used to whoop her little sister's butt and everything else. So we lost. She lost her mother. Her sister Courtney lost her mother. I lost a friend, and we all lost a sister. But Shanda is joining us live tonight. Shanda, we are sending you all the love. We're praying for you. We are on our Wednesday
Yes.
morning AGR prayer. We
Yes.
have always called your name. We just love you, and of course, you are loved at New Jerusalem Praise Tabernacle. And I'm going to give Pastor B the opportunity to say something
Yes.
for you to you. Pastor B, did you hear that? There's some kind of little noise. Can you hear me? Something's going on.
Yeah. Is it going on with you too, or is it just me?
I heard there was some kind of little clicking.
I don't
I don't
hear
know.
any clip. I don't
Okay,
hear any clicking.
it's fine as
But
long as you can hear me.
like I said, I keep it keeps freezing. So I don't know
Okay.
whether it's me or whether it's
Um,
you.
well, I just wanted to give you an opportunity just for a minute to address Shanda. She's sending her love right now. So if you would, just give a little blow her a little virtual kiss or something.
Yes, praying for Shanda and her sister Courtney. I can't imagine what it's like going through something like that right now, and this new normal um, will affect all of us differently. So we just pray for them as they, go through the grieving process, and we always say we know God got you, but that's easy to say.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really know what it's like for somebody, going through this. So we're praying for them, and we just know that God will keep them. God will see them through. We just really, really, really feel sad for them. Really feel sad for them.
And
Yes.
I can tell you from experience, even when you think you're prepared, you're still not prepared. You can have a loved
Yes.
one who's deathly ill, and that time is coming, and you think you're prepared, you're ready, you got your finances straight, you got the insurance ready, but when they take that last breath, you're not ready. You are not ready.
Right.
And especially when it comes in a time like this, like you said, it's difficult because we can't properly grieve. We can't get together and share that love. It's very, very difficult. And she definitely got my prayers.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Shanda says
Exactly.
it is hard, but they are taking it one day at a time.
And that's the best thing to do. That's the best thing to do. Yes, it really, really is. That's the best thing to do. Yes.
Amen. Hey, JP, thank you for joining. JP skipped
Hi,
out on our show tonight.
James. Hi, James. My buddy James.
He's a
Yes.
sweetheart. He's been trying to get with me, right?
Okay, let's get on with the show.
I always said that to
TMI,
mess with him. I
TMI,
always said that to mess with him.
TMI, TMI. I don't want.
He's an eligible bachelor, He's
I know.
at AGR.
I
I know he's shaking his head at me right now. Okay. So tonight, in the midst of everything that is happening, it is now more than ever, we need to support each other. We need love. We need strength. We need peace. We need to pray for each other. We got to call and check up on each other. We need to do video calls and FaceTime and all that good stuff because everybody is going through something right now. I don't care. Even people are still able to get up and go to work. You still got something you got to go through. You got to stay safe out there. We got our, loved ones who are dying all over the country. We can't get to them. We can't do anything. Everybody is struggling. I don't care if you're black, white, rich, poor, Chinese, Japanese, Buddhist, Muslim, Christian. It does not matter. We are all in this together. And at
right.
this time, it comes to pass from time to time that when especially us Christians when you're dealing with something and you go to somebody for help, you say, man, I'm really just going through, I'm really dealing with something. We kind of sometimes have this feeling like we got to be so strong. We let our
Mm,
pride get in the way. Talking about, well, I've got Jesus on my side, and I'm gonna be all right. Yes, you have Jesus on your side, but it's still okay to be weak sometimes.
mhm,
It's okay, as we said in our conversation a couple of days ago. It's okay not to be okay sometimes.
mhm,
There's
mhm,
nothing wrong with weakness, and this is something I had to learn because I was always supposed to be the strong one. I was supposed to be able to take care of things, take care of people, take care of myself, do this over here, get that over there. And I was afraid to ask for help. And then when I did ask for help, a lot of times I was kind of pushed aside because people would say, "Oh, you're supposed to be saved." What that got to do with it? With that has not your salvation has nothing to do with your mental and emotional health at
right,
all. And
right.
so I'm glad that we are finally coming to a time in the church now where people are realizing that rolling around on the altar is not necessarily going to take care of all your problems. After you get up, sometimes you still have to go and ask for help, and it is okay.
Mhm,
It is okay not to be okay.
mhm,
Many people, and a lot, like I said, a lot of times we just hate to ask other people for help. We hate it. We have this. I can do it on my own. I got myself into it. I can get myself out of it. And in life, when something, something's broken in the house, oh, I can fix it. You don't know what you're doing, but you don't want to ask anybody for help. And like I said, it could be pride. It could be because it's been drilled into you that you're supposed to be able to do this on your own. Sometimes we don't want to feel like we're getting a handout. Sometimes we don't want to be turned down. I've been in a point for a long time, and I'm again just pulling out of it where I didn't like to ask anybody for help because I was afraid that they weren't going to help me, or I
mhm,
was afraid I was going to get judged for needing that help.
mhm,
There's nothing wrong with seeking help. In fact, the scriptures encourage seeking help. We got
mhm,
to ask God for help daily. But what we sometimes don't realize is that God uses other people as well. He uses doctors and therapists and mental health professionals. He uses pastors. He uses elders. He uses those people. So it's okay to go to those people and seek further help. It is
mhm.
okay. It is okay. Yes, trust in the Lord, but also trust in the doctor. The doctor's there for a reason. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to ask you, Pastor B, as a pastor and as a therapist and as a mother. And I
Mhm,
know that you got people coming at you from all sides because you
mhm,
have a lot of sheep to shepherd, you have children to raise. Even though they're grown, you're still raising your children and your grandchildren. You got a husband that you're taking care of. You've got all these things that are going on, and then you got to be Dr. Burrus too. So you got to deal with those type of people. And I know sometimes it's difficult for people to have to come to you and say, Dr. Burrus, I need some help. So
Well,
how do you deal with this? What do you want to say to people who might be going through something?
I think let me start out by saying thanks for inviting me to come and to share with you this evening. And as we were talking the other day on the phone, I've been doing a lot of thinking about everything that people are going through during this pandemic, and it's those of us who are in the Christendom. We automatically run to our faith. We are believers. We have faith. We are believers. But the more I thought about all of the different things that people were going through in my own personal life, I could see where all of this was affecting me. It was affecting me in the sense of um, when you're used to being in control, and now you're in a situation where you're no longer in control of
Mm-hmm.
certain things. Um, I began to see that it was affecting me, not in the sense of making me um, depressed, but there was some times of sadness. There was some times of not feeling my best self. And so as I was sharing with you, it was, it's okay to not be okay. In other words, I've got to deal with all that's happening around me right now, but I have to accept it. But there's going to be periods in my life where I'm going to feel some things from it. So it's okay to allow myself to feel what I'm feeling. You mentioned the fact that, yes, I have many roles, I wear many hats, but in all of that I have learned is that the best thing that I can do in this season is take care of me. Yes. Because if I don't take care of me, I can't be of help to anybody else. And most of the time, it's easy for us to put ourselves on the back burner to take care of the world. But in this season, God is telling all of us to just slow down, just pump your brakes, just sit still for a while. You know, the scripture says, be still and know that I am God. And so in that, it's like it kept reminding me that it's okay if you don't want to get up and do a lot of things today. It's okay if you just want to lay around today. It's okay. It's like, you know, we start out, I keep saying, this is what I keep saying. I keep saying I'm on day 99 of this pandemic. I call it day 99. I'm waiting to get to 100. I keep saying I'm on day 99. Every day I wake up, it's still day 99, but I can be glad when I get to 100. But in that, there's been times where I would wake up and I would have all of this energy, do my devotions, and I get started on a project. And then all of a sudden the wind would go out of my sail. Yeah, couldn't finish it. Like, what's going on? But it's because of everything that's going on around us right now that reminds us that God is the only one that's going to bring us through this. There is nothing that we can do to change anything. We can't fix it. We can't go out and do this, that, or the other. I was sharing last week in one of my messages the fact that I used to be my growing up. We always use certain name brand products for everything. You know, you had to have Comet, and you had to have King Syrup, and you had to have Pet Milk, and some people don't even know what those things are nowadays, but those were things that I grew up with. But now with this pandemic, you go into the store, and if it say pancakes, you buy it. You understand what I mean? You know, so it's like things are different. If it say toilet paper, you buy it. You know, it's just, it may not be 4-ply, 2-ply, whatever. But what I'm learning is that even though those things are taking place, it's still okay. It's still okay. So what I begin to hear God telling to me and telling to the people of God is to reset. You're going to have to do a lot of resetting in this season. You're going to have to do a lot of resetting, because every time you leave out to go to the store, you may see something, you may want something that may not be there. So you got to reset. So he began to show me that even though we're going through this, I don't have to act like it's all hunky-dory, because it's different. It's difficult. It's not easy. So even though I may want it to be a particular way, I have to adapt to the new norm, to whatever the new norm is on that particular day. So as I was talking to you and talking about that, I was talking about the fact of, we were talking about how we don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's like, as you were saying, for somebody to lose somebody in this season with death and the grieving process, not being able to go to the hospital with your loved one, not being able to do certain things. There's so many things that are different. So I don't have to walk around with a cape on or a shield across my chest saying, I am woman, hear me roar. I got this. You understand what I mean? And some days I'm going to feel like it, but there are other days I'm going to have to allow myself to feel what I feel. So when that happens, that's why I say it's okay to not be okay.
You know what, Pastor? Just when you said that, talking about the, the cape on your back and stuff, I remember this song by Erica Campbell called "Help." You know that song?
Yeah.
I absolutely love that song, and most people know I'm not a huge contemporary gospel fan, but that song always gets to me. And when you said that, it reminded me of one of my favorite lines in the song. She says, "They won't let me rest. There's an S on my chest, but I ain't that strong." And she's just saying, I've got so many people who need me, but Lord, I just need help. And she said, "I said I do, but to tell the truth, sometimes I don't." I love that. It's all right to ask for help. And I have a question for you. What do you? I've gone through this many times, and when you were talking about, you having to, you having to wind down and take care of yourself sometimes. Do you ever feel guilty that you have to step back from other people to do something for yourself?
I wouldn't I wouldn't call it guilty. There may be some reservation. But I don't allow myself to um get into a guilt trip about it because I know that it's important. It's just that in my later years, in my earlier years of ministry, oh God, I felt like I had to do
Mm-hmm.
everything for everybody. But as I got older, I began to use wisdom sense. And I understood that what I do for me is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So a person should never feel guilty for taking care of yourself. That's like, say, for instance, if you um, know that a certain medication will make you feel better, but you don't want to take that medication because, excuse me, because you don't want, you're like, oh, I can't talk to somebody else. I mean, I can't let somebody else know that I'm gonna feel better if I take this. No, you don't allow guilt to come to the situation. You learn that what you do for yourself is important. So I would say no, the guilty part doesn't come. Does that answer your question?
That answers my question for now. But you did say that it used that before you grew into your ministry, before you grew in, in age and wisdom, that you did have that problem.
Yeah, because I was so in love with helping people. Oh my God. It was like
Mm-hmm.
it was like, no, you call me. No, I can do, yes, 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 yes. It was like and I still have that same love for people, but I see now that things have changed in my life, and I can't do everything that I used to do. I'm not physically capable. I'm only one person. So I've learned how to delegate, how to share, how to bring on other people to assist me, in different things like that. So it's like in the beginning, it was all over the place, but now it's like, no, God has taught me how to organize myself better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is something that I have struggled with for a long time because I've always been kind of the yes person. Whatever you need, I got you. Brianna, can you? Yes. Brianna, will you? Sure. Brianna, I need you to. I'll do it. And I've always kind of been like that. And my grandmother used to fuss at me about it all the time. She would say, "You can't. You running yourself ragged," because she knew, especially at church. After I first got saved, I was the first person at church and the last person to leave. I was doing everything. I was ushering. I was singing. I was teaching the children's church. I was into everything. And I was like that for years, in and out of the church, because that's just kind of the person I was. I just wanted to help people. And I was breaking down. I was breaking down physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. But I would constantly, and I still do sometimes, put myself aside for what is considered kind of the greater good.
Yeah.
I am perfectly willing to sacrifice my own peace, my own health, my own wants and needs in order to make somebody else happy. And I'm wisening up, especially as I get older, because my body won't let me do stuff like it used to before I turned that 40. It's like the day after my 40th birthday, stuff just started falling off. So I just, yeah, I'm too old for that now.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
yeah.
One of the things that we also have to look at is the fact that um, Jesus himself took rest periods. Jesus himself pulled away from people. So it's like sometimes we feel like we've got to do it all, but is that what God is asking us to do? Or is that something that we're doing on our own, looking for the favor of men, as opposed to allowing him to show us what things that, the Bible says the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. So when we allow God to order our steps, if we allow him to order our steps and us not try to make our own path,
Something very odd is my computer screen has frozen. I don't know if anyone
We
can
can,
hear me.
yeah, we can hear you, Breezy. You can keep going. Pastor Burris just came out of freezing, so you're good.
Oh, okay,
You can.
cool.
is it me? I don't know whether it's me. I'm gonna
No, you're good. You're good.
because it keeps freezing up. I'm thinking that it's my internet connection that's causing me to freeze up.
You're freezing up a little bit, but we're still able to hear you loud and clear. So you're good.
Okay.
You're perfectly fine.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, I'm trying to word my questions correctly.
Uh-oh.
I try to get the most out of a few words. Ah, when the doctor has to go to the doctor, it
Hmm.
can it can it there sometimes can be a judgment on that. Is that you should know how to deal with this.
Who said
What
that?
I'm getting it. I'm just using the doctor as a metaphor, but I can tell you from personal experience that when somebody who is okay, I'll use myself. Of course, I have a problem with myself. I have a bachelor's of ministry in crisis counseling. I can counsel you out of your problems without with just like that. I can talk to you. I can help you plan. I can ask the right questions and do the right things. I've been trained to do it. However, when it comes to me, my life can be a mess, and you know it because you've seen me at my worst and you see me at my best. Now, thank God that my worst is not as bad as it used to be, but I still have my days. And there are times, and this is kind of going back to the sometimes feeling guilty thing or feeling judged, that when I have stepped out and looked for help, it was, well, you ought to know how to deal with that. Well, why are you over here asking me? I heard you tell somebody a couple of weeks ago, why don't you follow your own advice? Why don't you practice what you preach?
No. First of all, you're talking to the wrong people.
I will not argue that fact.
you're talking to the wrong people. And the reason that I say that is there's a saying, every pastor needs a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Every doctor needs a doctor. It's like we should never be of the belief that we're equipped to handle all of our own situations. It's I'm thankful for having a pastor. I'm thankful for having a therapist. You understand what I mean? It's like because I can't think my own self through a lot of situations. You know, you need it. The Bible says that, you know, in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. There's safety in a multitude of counselors. So it's like learning that we should never be at the point. I think that's what messes us up sometimes, is that for whatever reason we feel like, or we don't want to bother somebody else with getting some help. Or yes, I can help other people, but that doesn't mean I always practice what I preach. Because I'm talking to other people, you know, that doesn't mean that I'm practicing what I'm preaching to somebody else. And just because God gives me if he gives me a plan to help somebody else get through what they are going through, yes, even though I may know the steps, I may know the techniques, I may know the models and all of that, that doesn't mean that I'm going to apply it to myself. But if I go to somebody else, you know, then it's good to have that person to help you to work through whatever it is that you're going through, and not feel like you should know better. Yeah, I should know better, but I'm human, you know, and because I'm human, I need that person, you know. There's a lot of situations that I deal with sometimes that I allow my husband to be my sounding board, you know, to help me think through some things, you know. And it's not that I don't know the answer, but sometimes it's good to allow somebody else to listen in and to hear what you're saying. That's why it just goes back to saying it's okay if you're not okay. You know, nobody is expecting you to be that way in this, you know, especially during this time right now. Okay, there's that look again. Yeah, there's that look again.
Yeah. That look is more of a kind of trying to keep myself together.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and turn this into some like Dr. Phil therapy session at all. But I know I personally tend to hold myself up to higher standards than other people. I will say, okay, yeah, it's okay, but you know, I shouldn't be going through this. I should know better. I should do better. And I don't really give myself a whole lot of slack sometimes. It's like I want to make sure I want to do it. I want to do it right. I want to, you know, make sure I don't want. I'm always very frightened of disappointing someone or hurting someone. It's like I got it. I got to do it, and I got to do it right so that nobody's upset or whatever. And so that deals into sometimes me not wanting to ask for help. I just no, I'll just take care of it and get it done. So you know I can make sure that it's done. I don't want to trust nobody else. I got to do it. I got to do it. Not as bad as I used to be, but I'm still there.
Is it bad? You saying, is it bad that you feel that way? Is that your question?
No, it wasn't really a question. It's just a comment. I know that again, yes, we are human, and humans are allowed to have human reactions.
Yeah.
However, our human emotion sometimes. It doesn't matter what the emotion is. If you any I'm trying to say this the right way without getting myself messed up. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you take it too far, then it becomes a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to want to make sure that you're doing well, that you're doing, the best that you can
Right.
do for whatever. But when it gets to the point where you're not even good enough for yourself, no matter what you do, that's when it becomes a problem.
Okay. You're not good enough for yourself, even for yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
but see, that's a whole other. That's like a whole other topic,
Okay.
and I'm trying to stick
Right.
on topic.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. We're not gonna go.
Hey, Rissa.
Kind of thing, but it's like we want to keep it general as relating to people, but not certain situations that that speak to you specifically. Sister Cynthia say all of us do that in certain circumstances. Yeah. It's like, well, because we're all, a lot of times we're our own worst critic. We're hard on ourselves. We want the best of ourselves. And then when we don't measure up to what we think we should be, then it can cause us to have some doubt in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
But even that is okay. The key is when you're feeling what you're feeling, allow yourself to go through it, but don't stay there. It's gonna come, but as the Bible says, this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
See, where we mess up, we get in there and then we stay there. We start pat racking, we start building a little house there, we start putting furniture in the house. Go, let me get a lamp, let me get a candle. Well, let me put a TV in there, let me get a blanket, let me get a rug. We start putting all these things in there. But it's like, no, allow yourself to feel it. There's going to be some things that you're going to go through. There's going to be some situations that come up, but allow yourself to feel that. But then allow God to show you what he wants you to do in it so that you can come out of it.
When you said that, and I want to thank, we have Vernie Frederick from Tobago who was tuning in tonight. So we worldwide, y'all. You got somebody from Tobago listening to your words.
Okay.
But you talking about being in that valley, being in a dark place, being there, and instead of setting up house, we bringing the blanket and the lamp and everything else. And I'm thinking we do that to make ourselves comfortable, and then we get comfortable. Or we bring those things in and we get comfortable there. And that's the worst thing to do, is to get comfortable, to get in a bad place and be comfortable being there. Because as long as we're comfortable, that's going to become the safe space. And we're not going to be able to go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, we become comfortable because it's a place of familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to adapt to change. So we stay in that particular place. But if we can understand that whatever God allows to come into our life, okay, it's like a few weeks ago I preached a message entitled "Embrace the Unusual." Embrace the unusual. And the reason I was talking about embracing the unusual is because in this new season that we're in right now, there are going to be some things that are going to be beyond our control, some things that we can't handle. So we have to learn to accept what God allows. A lot of times when we're going through certain situations, we don't want to go through it. But if God has allowed it, it's because he's going to allow us to come out of it. We're not going to just stay stuck there, but we don't want to experience that. So we find ourselves in situations where we say, okay, well, this is how it is. And I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to get comfortable and stay here. I'm just going to shut myself down and not deal with the world. But eventually you're going to have to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's no more than just to go to the bathroom, you're going to have to come out. So, you know, so you ask yourself,
I don't know what to do with that comment right there.
I'm just saying that sometimes we try to dig ourselves in, you know, to make that place comfortable for us, but that's not where God wants us to be.
No,
that's not where he wants us to stay. And he's saying to us, he's saying, I know you're human. I know you're going to go through things. I know that things are going to get to you to the point of you not knowing how to handle them, but it's okay.
You know, I think sometimes we don't realize, or we don't remember, or we're so stuck in our pain or our hurt or whatever is going on that we forget that our weakness is made perfect in God. We can't rely on our own strength because we don't have any. But our weakness makes him stronger. When we are in the darkest place, that's when we give him the opportunity to shine his light. Right. If there's no darkness, there can't be any light. If we're not sick, we won't know what it's like to be well. If we're not broke, we don't know what it's going to be like to have money. So when we are in that weak places, he comes in and makes it and makes us strong. And it's okay to ask for help. And it's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to not understand. It's okay to cry. Because in those things, that is when God comes through like a Russian mighty. When you're laughing at me, you're laughing at me.
No, I'm not laughing at you. No, it's not laughing at you. It's agreeing with what you're saying.
I know. I felt myself getting all excited, and I was like, okay, calm down.
No, it was agreeing with what you said, and the fact that it is okay if you need to cry. That's what I said. When I say it's okay to feel whatever you need to feel to get you through that moment. And if that moment includes crying, then you cry. Yes, that's what I was saying. I wasn't laughing at you. I was saying in agreement, because so many times, if you think about it, Brianna, with all that everybody is going through right now, there is going to be a lot of people needing emotional healing. You think about it. The family structure has been reformed. Totally. So parents and children are adapting to being home with each other all day, 24/7. Ain't nobody going out. Everybody's staying in. It's like, where's my private time? Where's my space? Where's my what I was used to? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
It's like that has changed, you know. People, the way that we have to deal with burying a loved one now has changed. Going to the doctors has changed. When people go back to work, it will be different. I don't believe that they're going to be pulling down those shields in the supermarkets once we get through this pandemic. You see what I'm saying? So there are a lot of things that are changing that have affected us. So that's why I keep saying, during this season, you've got to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. You understand what I mean? So that you can get through it. Because if not, you're going to be lost. I remember the first day that I went to the market, I hadn't been out in a while. And I went to the market. And this particular day, all of the shelves were empty. And just seeing empty shelves and different things is like, wow, had never seen that before. You know, so it's like all of these things are happening, and so I see it as God telling us, don't focus on what you're seeing. Stay focused on me. Because if you keep focused on what you're seeing, you're going to miss what I'm doing. Because I'm preparing you.
I think that right now this is actually a wonderful time for believers, because this is a time when we have to shut down. This is a time when we have to be quiet, when we have to be still and know. This is a time when we have to rely on God more than ever. And there's nobody, we don't have to, we're not going to work and hearing, this person talking, they can hear this person. We're not, there's not this distraction and that distraction. We have no choice. And like you said, they're not going to be taking this stuff down the supermarkets. And as AJ Antoine just said, this is the new normal. This is normal now.
Yes.
And we have the opportunity, because this is, I believe that, yes, we're going to come out of this, but this is not going to be the end. We are just seeing the tip of the iceberg of what is going to happen in the very near future. Now, for my whole life, all I ever heard was God's coming soon. He coming back soon. He coming back soon. But the soon never came. So we really didn't think that much about it. And I hear lots of, older saints, and been in church, for 70, 80 years. They've been hearing the same thing their whole life, but it never happened. So, we're just like, well, we going with business as usual. But this is the time when everything has stopped and there's no more business as usual. And now, I said on our prayer line on Wednesday that right now is the right for the picking. Now's the harvest time, because people are scared, people are confused, people are alone, they're searching right now. They're hungry and they're thirsty for answers. And now is the time for the people of God to go out into the harvest and start pulling those souls in right now. And we have time now. I've spent more time in, sometimes it's boring looking at these same four walls, but I have spent so much time in prayer and meditation and just in quiet.
Yeah.
And I truly and honestly believe, and without a shadow of a doubt, that if this had happened to me, or, I mean, what's going on now, not just me, but, it's happening to everybody, but I'm talking about me right now, that if this had happened a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I would not have been able to handle it. I would not be able to deal with this. I would be losing my mind. And because of that, and people who know me well, been calling me, checking on me. You okay? Are you able to handle this? I'm doing fine. I'm doing just fine. I don't have no money. I have not worked in over a month. My account is minus $24.33.
Oh.
There's nobody here but me and this cat she's staring at me right now. I don't, I live by myself, so there's loan. There's just nothing happening. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing just fine.
But look at what you just said. Look at what you just said. Look, think about what you just said.
What I said.
In all,
I don't know what I say.
In all that's going on around you, it's not affecting you. You're okay.
I'm okay.
The reason that you're okay is because that's what it's like when we accept the fact that, okay, God, I'm not okay. He shows us how to be okay. Because the things that we used to think were important, our priorities have shifted. Right now, it's all about the sanctity of the mind.
Man, the happy face got to come off. The mask have got to come off. We
it's
can't
about
no
the
longer
sanctity
say,
of the mind.
"Oh, I'm just fine. I'm saved and sanctified. Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored." No, it's okay to say, "No, I'm not okay." Okay.
You see, yeah. Because he's showing us, he's showing us him. He's showing us him. He's showing us him being strong and mighty. He's showing us he's got it all together. He's showing us that I don't care what it looks like. I got you. And I'm going to make sure that you come out of this. You understand what I mean? So it's like, so God is saying, the way you get to the okay is by surrender. I can't do nothing with this, God. I can't change nothing. I can't fix nothing. You told me to be still and know that you are God, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to try to figure this out. I'm not going to try to, well, let me run here and get this. In this season, a lot of times in seasons like this, they start talking about you need to make plans. You need to make plans. God is saying, don't make plans. God is saying, prepare. Stop preparing for your next.
Okay. Time is done. And honestly, I didn't even get to most of, the things that I was thinking of, but it just happens like that. I swear I need a 3-hour show. I really do. I need like prime time, or like I need to have like a morning show, like Breezy in the mornings from 6 to 10 or something.
Oh.
Well, okay. I'm gonna work on that. Now, you did ask me to get some resources together for people who might need them. I'm not expecting people to be able to write all of this down right now, but certainly you can. You go to Google, go to the search bar on your phone, Bing, Yahoo, whatever it is that you use, whatever your need is. All you got to do is type it in there, and I promise you, you will get 100 different resources to help you. You can go to the National Association of Mental Health, which is the NIMH. You can go to I've completely forgot
NAMI.
the anagram for NAMI. What is it? It's the
National Association for Mental Illness.
Thank you. I forget that all the time. Certainly, if you are in dire need, then you can always contact the suicide helpline. Because there are a lot of people. There's been a rise in suicides because people don't know how they're going to get through this. I've been in that place. It's not a fun place to be, and sometimes you need some help right now. So you certainly can call the suicide prevention line at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. And certainly, if you need immediate help, please do not hesitate to dial 911. There's no shame in that game. Call your best friend, call your mom, call your dad, call your pastor. Call somebody. It is okay to reach out for help. Now, because we have 2 minutes, I know JP is going to be very disappointed in this. I'm gonna skip the dumb tweets. I pulled out a couple for him, but I'm gonna skip them because I want you to have a final couple of words, and then I'm going to do our uplifting thought of the day. As a matter of fact, I will do the uplifting thought first, and then I'll let you to end us with a few words. If you want to have a prayer, you got something you want to say, you want to respond to the uplifting thought, anything you want. I'm gonna give this thought, and then I'm going to give it over to you. Is that all right? Thank you again so much, Pastor Deborah Burrus, for joining us. And tell everyone quickly how they can find you on social media.
I'm sorry, say that again. I missed the last part.
I suggest to let everybody know quickly how they can reach you on social media.
Oh, you can reach me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, Deborah Burrus, Pastor Deborah Burrus on Facebook. Restoration Outreach Center is our church at 7905 Harford Road in Parkville, Maryland. Our website is ROCMD1.
ROCMD1.
No, that's not what it is. I'm thinking about the Cash App. www.
That's how I get people that Cash App. Somebody might be trying to bless you.
www.rocmd.org. And you can reach me that way. You can inbox me if you have questions or concerns. They can reach me that way as well. Yes.
Wonderful. And I will give you a personal saying to anyone right now. This woman is good. Anybody who can deal with me, And all the people that live up in there, she good. And she good. Trust me. Trust me. And she
Well,
gonna give you the word and a laugh too.
yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. That's right. That's right. Yes.
So my uplifting thought of the night is coming directly from Albert Einstein. I love this. Now, Albert Einstein was known for many things, like a whole bunch of numbers that I don't understand. But he did say something very pertinent. He says, "In the middle of a difficulty lies opportunity." In the middle of a difficulty lies opportunity. And I picked that this evening because we are talking about being in the middle of a difficult situation. But
Yeah.
in that difficult situation, there is so much opportunity. It's not
Mm-hmm.
setting up your house and getting comfortable, but it's learning what it's going to take for you to get out of that situation.
Yeah.
And we've all heard a version of this saying sometimes, something to the effect of each cloud has a silver lining or something. But when you hear it from someone who, quite honestly, was a renowned genius, that each difficulty has an opportunity within it, you take a little bit more notice. Just because you're facing difficulty is no reason to get up, give up. You don't have to get down on yourself. You find the opportunity that's hidden in whatever difficulty you're facing and see how you can make the most out of it. And
Mm-hmm.
what a difference it will make. Instead of setting you back, difficulties only serve to move you forward.
True.
Just be one step from success, one praise
Mm.
away from your financial breakthrough, one hallelujah away from kicking that addiction. Being stagnant in the midst of your trouble breeds about an infected
Yeah.
environment. But
Yeah.
we've all been there. But the trick is to know that you're going to come out of it, even if you can't see it. In the middle of that difficulty may lie your opportunity. It might be difficult, but you will make it through that thing. I am a living witness.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, of course, I'm going to say to you all, as always, I want you to get peace, get wisdom, get love, get understanding, and above all, get lifted. And I am now turning it over to Pastor Deborah Burrus. Please please let us go out on your beautiful voice with your beautiful smile. I want your voice to be the last thing my listeners hear.
Well, I say thank you for inviting me on your show this evening. It has been a beautiful conversation. And when you have conversations like this, it's there's no cutoff point because you're constantly thinking of other things that you can say. But I like the but I like the quote that you just said by Einstein. You know, the thing in this pandemic, each one of us has to find out where God is in this because he's in it. He's in it. And a lot of times when we're going through something like this, we want to learn the lesson when we get to the end. But as you spoke, you said the opportunity was in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
There's an opportunity. And so all of us need to find our opportunity. God is revealing new things to us. God is revealing so many things to us right now that we did not know before. He's showing us different things. He's allowing us to be creative. He's allowing us to pull out things that we never thought of. We forgot about we had. He's showing us all kinds of things. God is teaching us to live again in its simplest form. Jesus.
Amen.
In its simplest form, all that we thought we had to have. God is saying it don't take all that. As long as you got me, you got seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything
All these
else
things.
will be added unto you. So God is telling us right now, stop focusing on what you thought you needed, that you had to have, because everything has been put on hold. It has put on hold. And there is power in a pause. There is power in a pause. God has set the pause button on us, and he is showing us, I've got something better for you. For when you come out of this, you're going to come out better. You're going to come out stronger. You're going to come out mighty. You're going to come out victoriously. But you got to be still and know that I am God. So in my closing, I say, it is okay not to be okay, because once you realize that you're not okay, you click into your higher power and you let him serve you. You surrender it all to him, and God will show you things that you never even thought imaginable. So I'm still on day 99 and I'm rejoicing on day 99 because I know my day 100 is going to come.
Amen.
And it's going to be the best thing that I could have ever seen. I love you all so much. I love you, but God loves you best. And as I always say on my show, remember, your heart matters.
Love you, Pastor.
Love you too. God bless.
Easy like Sunday, breezy, breezy like Sunday, easy like Sunday. Morning, breezy, breezy like Sunday, easy like Sunday, breezy like Sunday morning.
What it is, what it is.
It's the UpLIFT show.
Where it is, where it is.
Awesome God Radio.
Who it be, who it be.
It's Breezy in the house.
When it is, when it is.
It's on right now.
What we do, what we do.
We get lifted on the UpLIFT show. Here we go now.